Okay, so continuing with the Venn diagrams. In video 1, we talked about union, intersection, subsets, and Venn diagrams. So now we're going to do some problem solving with the Venn diagrams. So if you'll pause the video and look over the next three sheets, which is put them in your place, mastering set problems, and untangling set problems. So go ahead and take a minute to look through those. And we're going to work out a few of them. So if you'll look at the first problem right here, we have girls and boys and skateboarders, and we have numbers labeling the categories. So number 1 is talking about the girls over here that do not skateboard. Over here, number 2 is boys. 4 is this intersection right here, 3 is this intersection right here, and 5 is right here without the intersection. So a girl that does not skateboard would be a girl that fits in the circle for girls, but does not overlap with the skateboarders. So it would be in this area right here. So that would be section 1. A girl who does skateboard would be in the girls circle and the skateboarder circle. So that would be in section 3 because she's in both of those. A boy who does skateboard would be a boy who also is a skateboarder. So it'd be the intersection of those two, which would be 4. And a boy who does not skateboard would be the boy section, but not in the skateboarding section. So it'd be over here, so section 2. Let's look at I'm gonna skip this middle one. You can go through that yourself. And let's do this last one. So number 14, we have hikers, surfers, and bikers, and all this stuff on the inside is the intersection between those. So a person who only surfs would be the person only in the surfing category, not in the hiking or biking. So that would be this number 3 right here. A person who hikes and bikes. So a hiker and a biker. So if you'll look, a hiker and a biker, there's 2 places that those overlap. So a person who hikes and bikes, that would be 4 and 5. Because those are both, number 4 and number 5 are both in the hiking circle and the biking circle. The difference between 4 and 5, 4 are people who only hike and bike. 5 are people who hike, bike, and surf. So we would include both of those talking about this because if you hike, bike, and surf, you also just hike and bike. So a person who hikes and surfs, so hiking and surfing, there's 2 places that, 2 different categories that fall in that overlap is 2 and 5, similar to the last one. And a person who hikes, bikes, and surfs would be in all 3 categories, which would be this middle sections where they all overlap, would be 5. Okay. So moving on to the mastering sets problems. Looking at number 1, Mr. Hershey is taking a survey of his neighborhood to find out what kind of pets each family owns. He has the following information. 1 family owns a cat, a dog, and a bird. 8 families own only cats. 2 families own only birds. 10 families own only dogs. 4 own both a cat and a dog. 2 own a bird and a dog. 6 own no pets. 1 family owns a cat and a bird. So let's put all these numbers in this category and then we can answer these questions. So 1 family that owns a cat, a dog, and a bird. So the overlap of a cat circle, the dog circle, and the bird circle is right here in the middle. So that would be 1 family. 8 families own only cats. So the cat circle, only cats, wouldn't be any of these 3 parts. It'd be over here. So 8 families own only cats. 2 families own only birds. So the only bird out of the bird circle, it wouldn't be these top 3, it'd be this bottom part. And there are only 2 families. 10 families own only dogs. Same thing over here, dog circle. Out here is the place where it's not also a cat or a bird. So 10 would go over here. 4 own both a cat and a dog. So both a cat and a dog would be 4 right here. 2 own a bird and a dog. Real quick, going back to this, I feel like probably this paper needs to have more clarification. Like, I would probably, if I was doing this on a test or on a homework assignment, I would probably say 4 own both a cat and a dog, but not a bird, just to clarify that that 4 goes in that top part and not like this whole part right here. So we're going to assume that it's not a bird here. Not a bird. 2 own a bird and a dog. We're going to say not a cat, just to clarify. So just a bird and a dog. So not a cat would be this part right here, and that is 2. And then 6 families own no pets. So if you don't own a pet, you're not in the circle. You're going to be outside the circle, which would be, I mean, you could put it anywhere outside the circle. And then 1 family owns a cat and a bird. So cat and a bird would be the 1 family. And again, we're going to say not a dog, just to clarify. So the question is, how many families own cats? So the cat circle has how many families in it total? 8 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1, which would be 14. How many families own dogs? So look at the dog circle and add them up. 10 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 would be 17. And how many families own birds? Look at the bird circle. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 would be 6. Okay. We're not going to do the second one. You can work on that one on your own. If you have questions, please send me an email and I'd be happy to go over those. Look at the next one. The next paper, untangling set problems. Let's do one of these. So the garden club sent out a survey. These are the results of the survey. So same idea. 10 vegetables only. So it would be in the vegetable part, not with the flowers or the herbs. So 10 vegetables only. 4 herbs only. The herbs part, not the intersection with the flowers or the vegetables, which would be right here. So 4 herbs only. 15 flowers only. Same thing. 2 donated. I was trying to figure out what we were doing here. Members are donating. So 2 flowers, herbs, and vegetables being donated. So 2 would go in this middle part. That's the intersection for flowers, herbs, and vegetables. 2 vegetables and herbs. So 2 just vegetables and herbs would be right here. And 6 herbs and flowers. Herbs and flowers would be right here. Okay, so let me verify, make sure I didn't miss. Oh, I did miss flowers and vegetables. Sorry, I skipped that one. 9 did just flowers and vegetables. So 9 would be right there. So same idea as before. How many will donate flowers? It would be the number inside this circle right here. So let's see, 15 plus 9 plus 2 plus 6. If I do 9 plus 6 first together to get 15, add 15 to it, I get 30. Plus 2 is 32. Or you could put that in your calculator and get 32. How many will donate herbs? Would be this whole circle. 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 is 14. And vegetables would be 10 plus 9 plus 2 plus 2 would be 23. Okay, we're going to skip the second one because it's similar. This was similar to the last page. So that's, if you have questions on this, please send an email.